Welcome to viewers. Today's reasoning topic is semantic series. So before understanding this semantic series, let's try to understand the definition of series. See, generally in this particular series questions, first we need to have a good observation skills, that is in which pattern it is given. So series is simply is nothing but a pattern. So we need to identify this pattern, how this pattern is given. So examiner is going to check your observational skills. To know this pattern, we should know squares, cubes with regarding to the numbers, and with regarding to the letter series, if we know even the letters also, it is sufficient. So let's try to see today this in semantic series. Let's try to see this number series. So whenever we got this number series, for example, if the series is like this, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and is asking what is the next one. If you see in this case, the difference between these two letters, or if you see this one, it is in arithmetic progression. It's in arithmetic progression. So we can easily observe this, because if you see the difference between the first number and the next number, it is not much. It is only differ by 2. Here also the difference is simply 2. Here also difference is 2. Here also the difference is 2. So because of this difference is very less, so generally it is in AP. So the difference is common, number 1, and number 2 is the difference between the first letter, that is 2, and the last letter that is given is 10. Whenever there is increase is very less and it's not increasing drastically, then we can always will take the difference. We will always try to take the difference. Okay, so that we need to remember. For example, if some other series is like 3, 9, 27. So if you see this one, 64, and next one, see the first number is 3 and the last number is 64. There is a huge increase from 3 to 64. So whenever we are getting this big increase, obviously it is in like multiplication. So whenever the increase is very less, in the first case we are going to take the difference, and in the second case, whenever the increase is, initial increase is 3 and final increase is 64, it's a huge jump. Obviously we can say it is in terms of multiplications. Simply we can say it is in the process of GP, geometric progressions. So in case of the squares, that is n square, the format is very simple. It's 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and is going to ask the next one. The moment you see these squares, you should be in a position to recognize that it is in the form of a square. Or the other way to solve this question is, if you take the difference, then also we will get the answer. For example, here the difference is 3, here the difference is 5, here the difference is 7, here the difference is 9, here the difference is 11. The moment you see the difference here, it is 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and obviously the next one will be 13. So you can observe the square pattern, or you can take the difference also. So generally in the examination, whenever you are unable to identify whether that particular series is in a square or a cube or in any other pattern or in AP or GP, then generally you will take the difference. Now the another format in the squares itself is the format of n square plus 1, the format of n square plus 1. Simply in the examination, he will give the question like 2, 5, 10, 17, 26, 37, like that. If you identify this pattern is n square plus 1, it's well and good. If not, then I said that you need to take the difference. Here you see the difference, because the difference will be always same. Here also it is 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Obviously the difference will be 13. So the format doesn't matter if you take the difference when the question is in n square and the patterns in the squares. So for example, if you see the next one, it is like n square plus 2. In this case also, the moment you see the question, if you are able to recognize it is in the format of n square plus 2, then it's no problem. For example, in the format of n square plus 2, the question will be given like 3, 6, 11, 18, 27 and 39. If you are able to recognize 3, 6, 11, 18, 27 and 39, it is like n square plus 2, it is well and good. Otherwise, you can take the difference here also, because here also difference is 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. And the next one, obvious, the difference will be 13. You just add 13, you will get the answer, that is 52. So, you can solve in this way also. So, not only in n square plus 1 or n square plus 2, the format is also like n square minus 1 and n square minus 2 and n square minus 3 also. One need to know all these patterns, like, so if this is the n square pattern, so in the examination you can see like n square plus 1, n square plus 2 or n square plus 3. So, it won't exceed much, or the pattern may be n square minus 1, n square minus 2 or n square minus 3. So, either in n square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square and 6 square. So, you make your own questions while you are making the notes. Either you can add plus 1, plus 2 or plus 3, or it is like minus 1 means it starts with 0. Okay. So, here also it starts with like minus 1 also. So, generally you won't give this one. So, whenever it is giving like n square minus 2 or n square minus 3, the question will start from 2 square onwards, but not from the 1 square onwards. So, generally this is the pattern that he will give in the examination. So, one need to make notes of all the squares, that is n square plus 1, n square plus 2 and n square plus 3. In the same way, you make the notes of n square minus 1, n square minus 2 and n square minus 3, and just keep in the mind. So, whenever you see in the examination, you will get the answer very fast. N square plus n, this is very, very important in the examination. N square plus n pattern is very, very important. See how this pattern appears, that is 1 square plus 1, 2 square plus 2, 3 square plus 3, 4 square plus 4, 5 square plus 5, and is going to ask the next one, that is 6 square plus 6. Your answer will be somewhere like 42. But what is important, I am saying is, the important thing is you need to identify the pattern. I said that if you are unable to identify the pattern, the next step you can do is take the difference. So, what is the difference between 2 and 6? It is 4. Here the difference will be 6. Here difference is 8. Here 10. Here 2. So, if you are, even though you are unable to recognize the pattern of n square plus n, if you take the difference, then obviously you can find out the answer. And then the another important pattern in the squares is, that is n square minus n pattern. So, you should keep in mind about n square plus n and n square minus n pattern. If you see this n square minus n pattern, it starts like 1 square minus 1. So, it starts with 0, then 2 square minus 2, 3 square minus 3, 4 square minus 4, 5 square minus 5, 20. If you clearly observe this, there is no much difference between n square plus n and n square minus 1. See the numbers here, they will repeat. See the numbers, they will repeat. For example, it is like n square minus n, right? So, obviously it starts with 2. Now, you see the difference here, you won't see much difference, because 2 is here, 2 is also here, 6 is here, 6, 12, 12, 20, 20. Here also 6 square minus 6, obviously 13. So, there is no much difference between n square plus n and n square minus n. Even though it is given in any format, you can easily recognize in the examination. For example, in this question, the initial number is 198 and the last number is 227. So, there is no much increase, 198 to 227, there is no much increase. Whenever there is no much increase, we will take the difference. Here the difference between 198 and 202 is 4, here it is 9, here it is 16, and obviously the moment you see it is 4, 9 and 16, they are in squares, obviously the next square will be 25, that is 5 square. So, 227 plus 25, so your answer will be 252. So, let us see this question. The moment you see this question, 7, 25, 61 and 121. So, you need to immediately think about cubes. that is n cube. One should know cubes at least till 10. So 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube, 6 cube, 7 cube, and so on, at least 10. See, the moment you see this particular question, the moment it's 7, here 8. See, it is 2 cube, here it is 7. Then 27, 25. Here 61, here 64. Here 121, here it is 125. So the moment you see these numbers, in your mind you should think about cubes. So what is the format of this one? See here first. It is given 7. How can I write 7? I can write 7 as 2 cube minus 1. Then it is 25. How can I write 25? It is 3 cube minus 2. Then it is 61. How can I write 61? It is 4 cube minus 3. Then we have 121, which is 5 cube minus 4. You can clearly see this. It is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and minus 4. So now obviously what is the answer? The next one answer will be like 6 cube minus 5, that is 216 minus 5. Your answer is 211 is the answer. So what you need to remember here is the format of n cube is very important. So in the format of n cube also, you have to remember all the values near to the n cube as well. For example, n cube plus 1, n cube plus 2 and n cube plus 3. So all the values near. So you just keep in mind, that's it, that is very important. In the same way, you need to remember about n cube minus 1, n cube minus 2 and n cube minus 3. So keep the number range. So it is given the cubes, again the values near the cubes as well. And finally, very important for the exam is the format of n cube plus n. So you need to remember like n cube plus n and n cube minus n. So once we made our own series, and if you try to remember that particular sequence, again in the examination it will be very easy to identify that particular question. So this particular question is the format near to n cube. In this question, see, observe the series. In this series, the first letter is 4 and the last letter is 180. So the moment you see from 4 to 180, it's a huge increase. Whenever there is a huge increase, we always need to take the multiplication. So obviously there is some kind of multiplication is involved in this particular series. So let's try to understand how this multiplication is involved. The moment you see 4, the first thing you strike in your mind is it's a square, that is 2 square. So I can write it like 2 square multiplied by 1. And if you see 18, in 18 it is 3 square multiplied by 2. The moment you see 48, the 48 is 4 square multiplied by 3, that is 16 into 3. Obviously the answer will be 5 square multiplied by 4, that is 100 is your answer. So in this case you need to identify the sequence, how it is increasing. So whenever there is a huge jump is involved, just some kind of multiplication is involved. See, generally in the SSC, I said that the questions will be in the format of n squares, not only the additions and subtractions, that is n square plus n or n square plus 2 or n square plus 3 or n square minus 1 or n square minus 2 or n square minus 3. Apart from this, n square plus n and n square minus n I said. Now in this case it is given multiplication. So that is square multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So obviously in examination he will give the combinations of squares, a square addition or square subtraction or square multiplication. So if you aware with all these particular types, then it will be very easy for you to recognize in the examination. See the next question. See in this particular question. In this particular question, the moment you see it, there is no much increase in this particular question. The increase is very less. For example, see the first letter is 21 and the last letter is 60. And in between there are many numbers are there in this particular sequence. So whenever you see this one, just take the difference, not multiplication. Now you take the difference. See, for example, the difference between 21 and 30, it is increasing by 9. 30 to 38, it increasing by 8. The moment I see 9 and 8, obviously it is decreasing. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So the moment you see this one, just to add that one, you will get the answer. So 38 plus 7, your answer will be 45. So how I recognize this very fast? Because the simply thing is, it is not changing much. There is no drastic increase. So that is the reason I took the difference. So then you will get the answer very fast in the exam. 6, 14 and 30 and next one. So whenever I see this particular series, generally 6 to 30 after 3 steps, I don't see much increase. So obviously I will take difference and I will check with the difference. See here, 6 to 14, the difference is simply 8. Here also 14 to 30, the difference is simply 16. So obviously the moment I see this, what I can recognize is first one is 8, 16. And next step may be, here there are two possibilities are there. The next step may be 32 because it is increasing, 8, 16, 32, that is possible, or simply addition, that is 8, 16, that is plus 8, and 16 plus 8 or 24. So the only possible things is either you can add 32 or 24. Check the options, which one is there, that will be your answer. So anyway, 30 plus 32, 62, that is not there in the option. So this will be not possible. So 30 plus 24, then that is 54. Your answer will be option A here. See, you may ask one more question. Can I take it through difference? So here we took the difference here, 8, 16, either the double one, that is 32 or 24. If you see this particular pattern, the moment you see this pattern, obviously the first thing that will click in your mind is a multiplication, because here see the pattern 5, 16, 51, 158. So it is jumping. So how many times it is jumping? For example, from 5 to 16, it is 3 times. So obviously I will write like 5 multiplied by 3, 15 plus 1, that is 16. In the same way, 16 to 51, here also it is increasing by 3 times, that is 16 into 3, 48, again plus 3, that is 51. The moment I see this one, first one is into 3 plus 1, next one is into 3 plus 3. So what is obviously the next one that is possible? 51 into 3 plus 5. 51 into 3 plus 5. So obviously what will be your answer next one? That is into 3 plus 7. See, in this case, to get the answer very fast, I no need to done complete multiplication. For example, take this first number, that is 8. 8 3s 24 plus 7. 24 plus 7, the last digit will be always 1. So check where is the 1. 1 is in the last one. So your answer is D. So don't try to do complete multiplication because it's a time waste. The exam is always, you have to write within that 2 hours. So try to ensure that you will get answer with the less effort. So it is obviously by seeing this series, I come to know it is a multiplication. You see the next series. See this type of question. In this kind of question, 61, 52, first it is decreasing, 52, 63, again increasing, 63 to 94, again it is increasing, then 94 to 46, again it is decreasing. And if you observe this one, the increase and decrease is not also consistent. Like it is not increasing like plus 2, plus 4, plus 6, or it is not increasing like 3 or 27 or in the squares or cubes. The moment you see this kind of questions, these are peculiar questions in the examination you will get in the exam. So one need to observe that this kind of questions you have to keep in mind, not only the traditional format of squares and cubes. You can observe this kind of miscellaneous questions also. It is quite tricky in the exam. If you see these numbers very closely, they are squares, but they are inverted. How? It is 61. If you invert these numbers, it will become 16. It is 52, again you reverse it, you will get 25. It is 63, reverse 36. 94, reverse 49. 46, reverse 64. The moment you see this, all these are squares like 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, 7 square, 8 square. The answer will be 9 square. 9 square is 81. You reverse this 81, you will get answer as 18. So, this kind of questions you will recognize by practice. If you more the practice, you will recognize this kind of series very easily. See, in this question, it starts with 0. This is the clue for me. Whenever any question starts with 0, generally, I am talking about generally, not in specific cases, generally it is in the format of either n square minus n or n cube minus n. It is generally. So, this format he will follow in the SSC exam. So, I can write 0 like 1 square minus 1. 6 I can write like 3 square minus 3. 20 5 square minus 5. 42 7 square minus 7. So, this question is in the format of n square minus n, but it is not following like 1 square minus 1 or 2 square minus 1 or 3 square minus. So, it is just changing these numbers like 1, 3, 5, 7, he is changing like that, not in a consecutively. So, 1 square minus 1, 3 square minus 3, 5 square minus 5, 7 square minus 1. Answer will be 9 square minus 9. So, answer is 72. So, the format is here n square minus n format. So, I already said that the clue is first one 0. The moment you recognize 0, then the first thing that should come in your mind is either the format is n square minus n or n cube minus n. But the thing is, in n cube minus 1, the difference will be very, very big numbers because they are cubes. Then also you can recognize like that. In this case, see, initially the is 0 and finally is also 72 is your answer. So, there is no much change. When there is no much change, the answer you have to recognize like n square minus n, then you will get answer very easily. In this question, 2, 3, 10, 15. The moment you see this question, the first thing generally anybody will take is the difference, because it is starting with 2 and ending with 15. So, there is no much increase. So, we will take the difference and we will check whether we can do it or not. So, 2, 3, the difference is 1, 3, 10, the difference is 7, 10, 15, the difference is 5. And if you see this difference, I can't get any conclusion from this difference because it's 1, 7, 5 and what's next. So, it is not possible. So, when the difference you are not getting with the difference, check with squares and cubes. I can write 2 like 1 square plus 1, 3, 2 square minus 1, 10, 3 square plus 1, 15, 4 square minus 1. So, what will be your answer? 5 square plus 1. So, your answer will be 26. See the format here. Here also the format is square format only. So, you just keep in the mind all the squares and cubes and the values near the squares and cubes, then it will be very, very helpful in the exam. If you see this question, the moment I see this question, it is 24 and ending with 210. Options are also like 300, 336, 420 and 525, which are very big numbers. So, when there is a big numbers, obviously first check with the cubes. The moment I see this one, I said that to keep in mind about the values near to the cubes as well. I can write 24 like 3 cube minus 3, 60, 4 cube minus 4, 120, 5 cube minus 5, 210, 6 cube minus 6. Obviously, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube, 6 cube, answer will be 7 cube minus 7. So, your answer is 36. So, what is the format? The format of this question is n cube minus n. In this question also you can take difference also, then also you will get the answer. I said that if the question format is near the values of squares and cubes, then also you take the difference, then also you will get the answer. Let us try to check by taking the difference. 24, 60, 120, 210 and what is the next one he is asking. So, you will try to take the difference. So, what is the difference here? 36, the difference is 60, the difference is 90. So, you may ask this question 36, 60, 90. The moment you see the difference at the bottom also, it is not changing much. It is not a drastic change like 36, 100, then 250, not like that. here 36, 60 and 90. So whenever you see this increase with consistent increase, then also again you take the difference. So what is the difference here? The difference here it is 24, the difference here it is 30. So here 24 and 30. So what will be the next difference? Obviously it will be something like 36. So 36 plus 90, that is 126. So add again 126. So 126 plus 210, your answer will be 336. So what I can observe from this is, whenever the question is in cube format, you have to take double difference. You have to take difference twice. Whenever the question is in square format, if you take difference one time also, you will get the answer. But whenever the question is in the cube format, you need to take two differences, then you will get the answer easily. See in this question. In this question, it starts with 0 and ends with 210. Increase is huge increase. And I also said that whenever the question is starting with 0, the format will be generally n square minus n or n cube minus n. But in this case, see the numbers 0, 6, 24, 60, 120, 210. It is increasing quite drastically. So I can't take n square minus n. So obviously I will go with n cube minus n. So 0 I can write like 1 cube minus 1. 6 I can write 2 cube minus 2. 24 3 cube minus 3. 60 4 cube minus 4. Obviously the difference is n cube minus n. So our answer will be 5 cube minus 5, 6 cube minus 6, answer will be 7 cube minus 7, that is 336. So in this particular class, we learned about series regarding the squares and the values near the squares, cubes and the values near the cubes, again the arithmetic progression and geometric progression. So whenever there is less increase, we always try to take the difference. Whenever there is a huge increase, we will take either multiplication or cubes. So based upon the squares and cubes, we saw some questions. Thank you.